Hello and welcome to this little video about Höll Space 5d6. I'm the developer of this game and I would like to show you around in the Unreal Editor in order to give you an idea how this game is put together. So let's switch on the helper objects and have a look here. If you're wondering what the character on the lower right is, that's one of the characters out of one of the upcoming episodes of the game, and I just thought it would be kind of nice to just take this character and use it in this video to present the game to you. So essentially what we see is the starting position. Right after the intro sequence, your character will spawn at this player start position, having this view into the world. So if you're looking around, you're seeing some helper objects, like for example this one. That's a spherical reflection capture as a basic Unreal Engine feature, and it's taking cube map from this point and applying it to all the objects here. So the reflections that you see are actually pre-baked reflections. There's no RTX or anything on, but as you can see down here, as long as those reflection captures are placed in a good way, they get decent results for the visual presentation of the rendering and the world around you. So let's switch on the helper objects again. Let's go to the next one. Well, those are obviously light sources, which are partially baked and partially real-time. The baked light sources end up in the light maps. So let's go to a few where I can show you this. Lighting detail. This is the baked light map scene. So those lights will be pre-computed and then gets baked into textures which are arranged on the surfaces according to a segment UV channel. So the light that you see here is actually not really there, it's just baked into textures. But the result view shows up nicely. We can see that here are pickups and items lying around. Up here is a weapon, it's a blade, a melee weapon. We have down here some XP pickups. Here a resurrection chamber trigger that might be useful for some players later on in case they find themselves in a degenerated state, or their characters more or less. Here you can see what's on the first table that you encounter. There's some more XP to pick up, ammunition, or a ranged weapon with limited ammunition of course, and a keycard. And here in front we're seeing this door frame. This door itself has certain properties. For example, it is a player-only door, which is here to prevent the AI from opening the door. But the AI wouldn't anyway be able to open the door because it requires a red key. And I haven't placed any AI in the world that happened to have a red key. So you're pretty safe in here when you start the game, since the only way that there are bad things coming in is if you open the door and leave it open. So this is a good start to give you the chance to explore the basic mechanics like movement, your inventory, your weapon, your equipment, and learn that you can use keys to open doors, which will in turn open this door. The second system that's also placed here is the dynamic audio system. The dynamic audio system is based on those triggers which are spread all over the world and some conditions which I'm looking at in the player character controls blueprint, where I'm evaluating the scene that you're in. So I'm looking at how many monsters is there, what's the current state of your health, what's going on in this level, and I'm picking up the information from those trigger volumes additionally in order to select the music to play. So the music system is for now partially dynamic. I'm also looking into adding a fully dynamic audio system in regards to music to it, where the tone and mood inside the location, inside an audio track change, but that is currently not in the version which is in early access. So let's just trigger some music. In this case, it will just go ahead and play this music finally. So that's what it does. So this door opens and you're out here. Now you're in this big, large staircase area that has the lower level flooded with water. So this might be interesting to notice. So there's water in the game and you obviously can swim and dive in it. Here we're seeing our enemy characters. Those enemy characters are placed in the world like this, wherever I thought it might be good to have them. They have properties, they have animations, textures, they basically have each different settings in regards to the movement speed, attack damage, and reaction radius to vary that a bit. Some of them are harder to kill, like for example this guy will be harder to kill than, for example, this one that is barely wearing any protection. So let's have a look at this character. So this is of course a skeletal mesh. Skeletal meshes are meshes which are linked to a skeleton. The skeleton is used to do the animation part that drives and moves the character. So this is our basic character enemy, and in its highest level of detail, level of D0. When you're further away, it switches down to the level of detail 1, 2, and 3 when you're really far away, and it changes from having 20,000 polygons to just running around with 4,000 polygons, which of course it's much easier for the graphic card to handle many of those if they are further away. So that's the LOD system of Unreal, and of course it's going to be used in this game in order to make sure that, well, there's some performance for playing the game left. So this is the physics setup for the ragdoll itself. As you can see, we have two elements here. We have the rigid body thingies here, which are basically the gizmos that collide with things. They are kind of capsules. I think they're also named capsules. And we have those constraints, which constrain each of the skeleton's joints to certain range of motions. This is a really good concept because it allows for the designer to set up everything in a way that the character doesn't completely fall apart, but behaves physically like a ragdoll when he breaks down. So this is just a basic Unreal system that is utilized in this game, so nothing special, but I thought I'm anyway going to talk about it. Here we have, for example, a simple explosive container. I think everybody now knows what to do with those in games. You shoot them, they explode. In this case, you shoot them, they explode, you're close to it, you're dead. Well, that happens if you are in an explosion. Here we have level elements which can also damage you. In this case, this thing here is an area that is hazardous, so there's some spatial anomaly, distortion, weird thing going on, and if you walk into it, you basically get damaged. Depending on your equipment, there might be equipment, clothing, and protective stuff that prevents you from taking certain types of damage, or might make you even susceptible to other types of damage more, but therefore, as a trade-off, give you protection against some that you encounter in the section where you decide to wear this. So we can see up here, here's another audio triggering volume, but let's see what's played here. So if we're here, we can hear that the tone and the voice and the mood of the level changes, because now things are becoming scary, like you can see from all the stuff that's lying around here. So when we're taking a further look around this, we can see up there that we're somewhere in space with a glowing nebula or whatever that is up there, flooding this somehow slightly open to the top with a big window section with nice red light. Well, yeah, that's so much about the inspiration for this design decision to make this look like this. And of course, this being something like a Metroidvania game, you're encouraged to explore, look around, find new ways to go, and the main idea is that every place in the entire world is reachable by at least 3 to 4 different methods to get there, also in different stages of your progress in the world. So you can be really sneaky and tricky and get into areas of the map where you're actually not supposed to be, but since it's Metroidvania-like, you can be there. It might just be really deadly because of enemies throwing things at you that you're not yet capable to withstand. This section, for example, is blocked off because it requires a turquoise keycard, which you at this point do not actually have, because you just picked up the red one in here, which will open red doors, but won't open any turquoise doors. So that's something to look at. And one of the things is this game is intentionally making you explore things, and there's many sections like this one where there's something inconspicuous, and you can get into what's behind. So it has multiple levels and layers of different corridors and ways to traverse the world in order to find out what's going on in Höll Space 56 Episode 1, which this character that I'm using to talk to you is not part of. Well, I thought it might make more sense to take one out of the other episodes that are coming in the future. So if you enjoyed this bit of information about the game and like to see more about maybe talking how the AI works, or showing some of the blueprints for weapons, or any kind of stuff related to the RPG system, you can comment, and I might make another video explaining more stuff. If this game is in any way interesting for you, you can find it in early access on Steam rather soon. And, well, the entirety of the development team is me, and I'm building this thing because I thought it might be fun to play it, so I'm building the game because I want to play it. Which, if you like to play it as well, fine. And, well, if you don't like to play it, fine as well. As long as one of us had fun, in this case me. Yeah, when it comes to the game world itself, it is a larger pen and paper RPG universe, and there's a whole bunch of lore and stuff behind that. But I'm not going to reveal this as part of this videos because you will be in later episodes discovering more about the RPG setting, gameplay, and universe where everything takes part. But that's for another time. Well, maybe you will give this game a go, or at least you've learned a bit about stuff in the Unreal Editor and how things are put together. Well, have a nice day, and thanks for watching. Bye!